So now you're an ALT in the Uwajima BOE. What is an ALT? What is your job? Well, your job as an ALT is to assist in the teaching of the English language. But more than that, your job as an ALT is to be a cultural ambassador. In some cases, you are the first foreigner that these children have ever seen. What that means is, whatever you are like, they will think people from your country are like. So just be careful how you present yourself inside of school and outside of school. Say hello and be friendly. When you're seen outside of school, don't be afraid to talk to the students. They may ask you some strange and sometimes personal questions, and you don't have to answer them, but just don't brush them off. Try to joke with them, laugh with them. You'll likely avoid the question. At schools, it is common practice to say good morning and goodbye to the principal and to the staff. The BOE has a similar system of greeting. There are certain ways to do this. It's best to check with the other ALTs or your supervisor on how this is done. But all in all, it doesn't hurt to say good morning, even in English. Just be friendly. A smile and a good morning go a long way. Now, as a Municipal ALT, you'll be working for the Board of Education in Uwajima City. The building you'll be working in is located in the heart of Uwajima. The BOE is on the 7th floor. Now, if you are a prefectural ALT, you'll be based at one of the high schools in Uwajima, most likely Minami or Higashi. As a BOE ALT, you'll be working at the junior high school and elementary level. The BOE will determine which schools you'll be teaching at and how many schools. The schools are divided between 4 ALTs. There also may be Japanese ALTs who will work exclusively at the elementary school level. How your schedule works and where you will be going will be explained to you at your BOE. Now, it is very important to know the Uwajima School District is made up of several other areas, including Tsushima, Yoshida, and Mima. What this means is the ability to drive is very, very, very important. The buses here run on an hourly schedule, making it extremely difficult to get to certain schools. Please be aware of this, so get an international driver's license. For you Americans, be prepared to take the Japanese International Driver's License exam. Basically, you will have to memorize a course and be able to drive it, make the right moves, say the right things at the right time without anybody telling you. There are classes, but keep in mind that both the classes and the tests are all done in Matsuyama. What that means is you will have to talk to your BOE on how you will get there. It's best to take the test during one of the breaks, be it spring, summer, or winter. Just remember, the DMV in Matsuyama is not open on weekends, and you will not be able to take the tests on those days. Okay, now on to dress code. Remember, from time to time, you'll be working at an office, which means slacks for men and a collared shirt. You'll want to bring at least one suit and consider buying another one later on. The same could be said for women, but women's dress code is a little bit more flexible than men's. I would be careful of clothes that may reveal more than needed and clothes that is easily pulled down. Remember, kids like to play and pull at your clothing. For both guys and gals, shorts, t-shirts, flip-flops are all a big no. When you're at your school, look around. See what everybody else is wearing. If you're not at the BOE, sometimes it's a little bit more casual, but ask your supervising teacher about that. As every situation is different, some schools may be okay with you coming in a tracksuit. All PE teachers do, while others may want you to come in something more professional, like a suit or collared shirt. I would also bring an extra pair of clothes, because during the summers it will get really hot. No matter how hot it is, your students will want to play with you. Also remember, you will need 2 pairs of shoes. Sneakers are okay at both the BOE and your schools, but one is for indoors and one is for outdoors. Remember, Japan's sizes run very small, so don't expect the stores here to have your shoe size. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, we've got the basics down. Now let's talk about teaching. Typically, you will not need a whole lot of materials, but always be prepared. You never know when a teacher may ask for a game or an activity. During your elementary school visits, you have a ton of materials at the BOE. So when preparing for a school visit, check your lesson plan to see if you need any extra materials. There's a chance that very little will be written in English on your elementary school lesson plans. But don't worry, there is someone there to help you. Talk to a supervisor or a Japanese ALT. Don't stress, there's a lot of support on the JET program. As for students, you will typically get 3 types: the good, the bad, and the quiet, and if you call on me, I will burst into tears. The good ones are incredible and they will make your day. They will constantly raise your hand, answer questions, and sometimes if you're lucky, they'll be your translator. At elementary school, you may even get a hug from them. As for the bad ones, you'll have to learn how to deal with them. Typically, if you joke around with them to the point where they become friendly with you, they will usually stay in line. Though it's really hard to find that balance between authority and friend. Also, sometimes it's extremely difficult to get through to them. But don't worry, it's rare that you have a class that is all bad. Now, the quiet criers are the most interesting bunch. You'll usually get at least 1 in each class. They will sit quietly and either do nothing in class or take notes and never speak. The minute you call on them, or if your teacher calls on them, they will start crying and it will get extremely awkward. Best thing to do when they start crying is to not force them to answer the question. They usually get it, but they're just too scared or nervous to answer. Just let them sit back down and they'll usually calm down. Now, every junior high school has bukatsu, or club activities. This is a time to get involved with your students. It is extremely fun and you will get to know them. Now, you don't have to join the sports club, but it's a good thing if you do. The kids will talk with you more and it will be easier to work with them. Even elementary school, getting involved with the kids during lunch recess is a plus. Just do what you can to get to know your kids and it will go a long, long way in class. Lunchtime is one of the best times to get to know your students because you'll be seated next to them and have a great chance to interact with them. Now, the lunches may be strange and difficult to eat, but you'll get used to them and hopefully enjoy them. If not, you'll be allowed to bring a home lunch. But I will warn you, lunchtime gets a little hectic. The kids will ask you a ton of questions, but they don't mean any harm by it. They're just inquisitive and want to know who you are. Okay, now one of the last things I want to touch on at your schools is that there will be times when students will say absolutely nothing to you. There will be even times when you say good morning, and they will stand there quiet, start giggling, and run off. Remember, they're kids and they get nervous around the new guy or girl. Once they get to know you, they will slowly by slowly open up to you. Just give it some time and you'll be fine. Okay, read through your contract carefully. Make sure you understand everything in there. If you do not, ask questions. Somebody will be there to help you. The JET program is incredible because there is so much support. So get to know your PAs and RAs because they will end up helping you later on in the future. Okay, lastly, things like Nenkyu and vacation days, paid leave, okay? It is very important to schedule your vacation days well in advance of your time of departure, okay? And it is also important not to schedule those days on elementary school visits. It's okay, but you're gonna lose that time with those students, and you will not get that day back. You only see them once a month.